Okay, so in this video we're going to go over variables a little bit, and all a variable is a space in memory that we're reserving for our own data. If that doesn't make too much sense, that's okay. That'll become more clear kind of as we proceed. To make a variable in PHP, you want to start with a $sign. Every variable is always going to start with a $sign. There's a few exceptions to that, which we'll get into later on, but for now, just kind of think of anytime you want to use a variable, you need to use the $sign there. You can give a variable any name you like. So we'll name this myString. Variable names are case sensitive, so myString will be totally different than myString with a small s, so keep that in mind. And to initialize and declare this variable, we're going to go ahead and use an assignment operator, which is the equal sign on your keyboard. All an assignment operator does is assign whatever's on the right side of the equal sign into your variable. Also, well, let's do this first. This is my string. There we go. So, and the way this works is it will take whatever's on the right of the equal sign first. That'll make more sense after we finish watching this video, but whatever's on the right will be looked at first, and that will be put into the variable. And so once we have a variable here, we can echo myString. And notice when we echo the variable, we don't need to use the quotation marks because we already use quotation marks up here. If you remember, we only use quotation marks with strings, and myString is not a string, it's a variable which has a string inside of it, pretty much. So let's go ahead and save this and reload. There we go. So this is myString. And if you don't know why this would be useful, that'll become more clear as we go along, so don't worry about that. Just kind of concentrate on how to create a variable. Once this variable is created, we can use that variable over and over and over again without ever having to deal with this string directly. We can just call the variable. And when we do call the variable, we need to use that $sign again. So another thing we could have done is gone way up to the top here, make another PHP script. That didn't work out. There we go. And that would have worked fine. So we could have made a PHP script with our variable, closed the PHP script, went along our way with some HTML, and then reopened a PHP script and then echoed out that variable. So there you go. And just to kind of show kind of a real world example of where that would be really useful, if we did something like let's see, a link or something. If we did a link to go somewhere .com, and then we had a hyperlink, but we didn't know yet what we wanted that link to be, we could just echo out the variable right in line here. So echo myString. I hope that kind of made sense. I know that might be a little weird, but you can inject that variable right into your HTML anywhere you like. So there you go. And when I mentioned you might not know what this is yet, I just mean that maybe this variable is something that is dynamically created, which we'll learn about later. But maybe it's something that's dynamically created, and your links will change based on certain conditions or something like that. So that's all I was hoping to illustrate with that. Another thing we could do with variables, strings in particular, is we can use a concatenation operator, and all that is a period on your keyboard, and we can add another string, concatenate another string onto this string here. So this is my string. Isn't it great? Oops, great. There you go. So if we echo this out, echo my string. If we echo that back out, so you can see we kind of added some more onto there with our concatenation operator, which is just the period on the keyboard. And we can do that again and again as many times as we want, so we can add another string. So now PHP is looking at all of this as one string. So let's reload that. There you go. And to show some practical uses of when you would use the concatenation operator, let's say we have another variable, my other, which is this is another string. And what we could have done is just concatenate this variable onto this string. So we can go my other. So now we have my string. We're giving it the value of this is my string and my other string, which is this. So let's go ahead and see what that does. Oh, I forgot to put a space in there, but you can see these are two strings that we concatenated together. And that's going to do it for this short video on strings and variables. Thanks for watching. See you next time.